All right, how we doing, folks? Your boy Marcos 2205 numbers after the name. Got some a little NBA 2K16 action right here. They gave it away for free on the PS4. That is dope. That is dope. There's no other way to put it. The only thing that'd be dope if they gave it to me on Xbox One, but that is dope. I was like, yo, that's what's good, man. So I'm playing over here, the Warrior, playing the Cavs. We're gonna do a little NBA Finals talk over here. Let me just give you my early impressions of the game. I literally only played 2 games, I think. Yeah, 2 games of Warriors Cavs. It's good. I'm not really used to it. I haven't played a 2K game in 6 years, so I was a bit lost by everything. It still fairly plays the same as it did 6 years ago, but a lot more has been added. Especially I noticed in terms of the presentation with the pre and the post and the mid-game shows, and just the people's reactions and even the voices. Like, they definitely upped the ante in terms of presentation. In terms of gameplay, it feels better than it used to, but there's still stuff that doesn't make sense, and I was lost defensively, which is crazy. You know, I play kind of like the Cavs when playing this series. You know, just kind of lost defensively, even though they smoked out the Warriors yesterday. This is coming out Friday. I guess it's game 3, whatever, 2 days ago. And I couldn't really figure out how to shoot well. I couldn't figure out really how to shoot with Steph Curry. I mean, it was a really quick release, and I wasn't used to that. And there's some stuff that obviously I'll change. I for example didn't know how to call plays yet in this. I thought maybe we had to do with the deep. I wasn't 100% sure how to call plays. Not that I even know what plays the Warriors had, aside from the ones that I watch them do in real life. Substitutions, for example, kind of bogus. At one point, I was playing with like Azili and Bogut out there, and I was like, what the hell, these guys kind of lineup is this? This is like the Twin Tower lineup that the Warriors never play with. Okay, thank you, Steve Kerr. But overall, I'm pretty impressed with it, and I'm looking forward to starting the season and playing through and have a good time with that over there. Uh-oh, Mama Deuce calling. We're going to have to put it on hold real quick. I got this video, you know what I'm saying? But to the NBA Finals, man. With 3 games in, tonight, Game 4 is being played. It's going to be, I think Game 4 is one of the biggest, for Game 5, obviously ends up being the biggest of the series, especially if it's tied or whatnot. But Game 4 is going to be huge, man, because the Cavs could really make this a series, or they could just kind of end it. Obviously, if they go 3-1, it's going to be very difficult for them to come back. Not impossible. The Warriors blew last round, but very difficult. I fully expect the Warriors to win. I find it very difficult. Steph and Clay have been shooting really poorly, and eventually they're going to start hitting shots. It's just a matter of time with them, and they've managed to hold their own. With the exception of this last game, it was a blowout. The Warriors have shown that they've been blown outable. Matter of fact, everybody, honestly, I guess the Cavs haven't really gotten blown out. Well, I don't know. No, I don't think the Cavs have, but pretty much everyone has shown that they could get blown out, and it's kind of made for a little bit of lackluster playoffs, but entertaining nonetheless. And I thought we already saw our best series with the Warriors and Thunder. I still kind of think that, but hopefully the Cavs make this a pretty entertaining series as well. I think the key for the Cavs is what they do with Kevin Love. He's apparently probably going to be cleared here to play on Friday. I don't know if, to me, Kevin Love, there's 2 people in the series that I kind of feel don't fit in. And I think the Cavs' overall roster is just flawed in general, but Kevin Love, to me, has no place in this series. He's at best a 3-point specialist. He can't really post up. If they put Draymond Green on him, he kind of nullifies him. He's in a very tough spot. He doesn't play close enough to get the rebounds, which is one of his big strengths. And he kind of occupies a spot that LeBron should be occupying. LeBron should be the 4 on this team. LeBron's future in this league is as a power forward, whether he wants to or not. I think part of the reasons that he left Miami was because he saw that was going to become imminent. They were going to start using him as a 4. And he looked at it and said, I don't want to do that. LeBron wants to be the point guard. Well, you can't. It was cute at the early on in his career. When he ran point, he kind of did all that stuff. And you could still, it doesn't diminish his stats or anything. You still get all the assists straight out of the post. He's never adapted to the post game. In Miami, he had a couple years there where he developed a little bit of a post game, but not much, but still enough to make it at least something that you had to take into account. In Cleveland, he's reverted completely back to his old ways. I mean, the shooting has been horrible, and the post game is non-existent. This past game, Game 3, he was a little bit more involved from the post, and he kind of had to because Kevin Love was there. But I say even with Kevin Love there, you got to do it. To me, Kevin Love, you got to put him on the bench, dog. The spacing just doesn't work with him out there. It's the biggest problem to me. And then defensively, he's bad. And he's been feisty in the playoffs, but it's still not good. He's slow to recover from pretty much everything. And I thought Curry hit these shots automatically. What the hell? How the hell does he miss that? And the other issue with me was Kyrie defensively as well. Now, Kyrie, he could cook anybody. They've kind of put Steph on him and sometimes Steph on JR. It's a tough matchup for Steph, especially if his knees actually hurt and whatnot. To hang with Kyrie, especially when he's hitting shots. And that's the thing, I expect the Cleveland to bounce back because guess what? Those role players, they hit shots at home. They don't hit them on the road. That's pretty much the fact. It's going to come down to whose team's role players start hitting shots on the road. If the Warriors go out tomorrow and Harrison Barnes, this kid in the Harrison Barnes is doing really well the whole series, but Andre Iguodala and Sean Livingston, Barbosa, those guys start hitting shots, so then it's a wrap. Cleveland can't hang with them. They got to speed up the pace as well. None of the slow stuff, but the biggest enemy of the Warriors to me is always the Warriors themselves. They get complacent with how they play. They get a little bit lax on offense, a little bit lax on defense. And that ends up killing them in the long run, especially when it comes to turnovers. And you give a team like the Cavaliers turnovers, and they're going to take advantage of that. I'm not sure if I want Richard Jefferson in the starting lineup. I'm not 100% sure what your options would be in the starting lineup. Kyrie defensively leaves a lot lacking. I mean, the Cavs in general, now they put it together, but Game 3 is such an anomaly to really pick stuff from. But they put it together a lot better in Game 3, at least early on when it was still, early on, it wasn't even close at the beginning, but they held it together and they were able to sustain the Warriors' runs and make runs of their own. So hopefully we can see a little more of that in Game 4. But if Game 4 is a more regular game or normal game, a game that comes down to the wire, I'm nervous for the Cavaliers, man, because I don't know if they can hang defensively. Low-key, what's made the Warriors really good is that they're really good defensively when they want to. That's the problem, too. Sometimes they don't want to. That's why we see Steve Kerr, breaking boards all over the place. Because he knows that the team's better than what they're playing. And even with that, they're still up 2-1 in the finals. I don't see any scenario where the Cavs win unless the Warriors have a substantial amount of injuries. I do hope that they make it a series, but ultimately, I think their weaknesses defensively in terms of Kyrie and Kevin Love is gonna hurt them too much. They're gonna end up, and I was talking to some of my friends about this, but they're gonna end up at points in this series playing a team that they played last year when they were forced to. Last year the whole thing was, it's LeBron, a bunch of defenders and shooters because they don't got anybody else. But the reality is, I have a feeling that when it comes to crunch time in this series, we're going to see a lot of that, at least in terms of offense-defense substitutions. But I wouldn't be shocked if we see long stretches of Tristan Thompson and Dellavedova out there to try to slow down the Warriors as best as they can. A little NBA Finals talk for you guys, man. Hope you enjoy the game. Deuces, your boy Marcos. Have a good weekend, yo.